A high school student receives a message from his friend Hamada inviting him to join a mysterious online game called Darwin's Game. Strange things begin happening after he boots it. He experiences a hallucination of himself being bitten by a snake, and is challenged arbitrarily to a death match with a man in a panda mascot costume known as Bonda-kun. Kaname is saved by his other friend, Kaida, who explains that Darwin's Game is a cruel, real-life survival game that pits players against one another. During a match, there's no way to call for help except within the game. In addition, the game grants each of its players a unique superhuman ability known as a sigil, with Bonda-kun's ability being the ability to turn invisible. Kaname puts up a good fight but ends up being outmatched, until out of pure luck, a car collides into Bonda-kun while invisible and promptly ends the match. Bonda-kun's body is then teleported bit by bit, leaving only a pixelated body carving on the floor. While Kaname is fighting, Kaida dies of blood loss, having been slashed by Bonda-kun previously, but leaves a message for Kaname, telling him to survive. Kaname's win as a solo rookie player draws the attention of a high-ranking player, Shuka Karino. Shuka invites him to a warehouse to answer any questions he has about the game, where Kaname is forced to accept that he cannot quit the game. When he is unable to use his sigil, nor is the app able to analyze his power, Shuka attacks him using her chains. In the heat of the battle, Kaname uses his wits and skills to avoid her, and manages to unlock his sigil, the ability to recreate weapons he has previously touched. He sets a trap for Shuka and defeats her. Realizing that Kaname truly knows nothing about the game and having seen his sigil, Shuka surrenders, forcefully terminating the match so both players stay alive. Shuka invites Kaname to join a clan, a group of players in Darwin's Game that battle and earn points together. She tells him that many in the game play it as points from the victories can be used as in-game currency or be redeemed for real-life cash, and advises him to use some points to temporarily hide his name from the challenge list, especially after winning against two high-ranked players. She also tells him that it is forbidden to reveal details about the game to any non-player, lest they be forcefully teleported. Shuka and Kaname receive a notification for Darwin's Game's first major event, a treasure hunt event in Shibuya that has been sent only to selected players. After clashing with a mysterious player known as Inukai who warns him to protect his cell phone, the two are separated, having been teleported to the city center in Shibuya. The event entails each of the 300 players collecting at least 3 rings before time is up to survive, despite there being only 300 rings available. Each ring also possesses different values of points depending on the gemstone set to it. On the 27th floor of the hotel building where he is teleported, Kaname meets Rain Kashiwagi, a middle school student known as the Analyst, for her ability to procure and sell information, including his location details that let Inukai find him. Apart from himself, Rain, and Shuka, Kaname is informed that Wong, the ruler of an infamous clan named 8th, that has claimed Shibuya as their territory, is also participating in the game. By the time he exits his hotel room, almost 10 players have been killed in the hotel, and floors from the 25th floor downwards have been barricaded by thick greenery. Kaname warns Rain against taking the elevator, and her predictions prove true when 4 players who chose to do so show up, having been drugged by narcotics plants into attacking the 2, who are the sole survivors left in the hotel that are not brainwashed. Rain guesses that the one behind all this is the player known as the Florist, who possesses the ability to manipulate plants, and Kaname deduces that he is using the hotel security cameras to direct his soldiers. Creating a machine gun, Kaname and Rain destroy as many cameras as they possibly can, while using flashbangs to flee and hide from the soldiers. Having disabled several surveillance cameras, Kaname and Rain head out to one of the auto-lock hotel rooms to hide and plan out their next move. Based on the cameras destroyed, the Florist correctly figures out where they've been hiding. However, Kaname and Rain set a trap for the Florist, with Rain disarming the soldiers and distracting him, allowing Kaname to reach the first floor and locate him in the hotel's control room. Kaname and the Florist, a middle-aged man whose real name is Ichido Hiragi, battle it out, and Kaname is initially on the losing end due to the Florist's impenetrable plant defense, high combat ability, and the side effects of overly exhausting his sigil. However, Kaname sees a vision of a man resembling him using blacksmith tools to carve weapons, and that encourages him to explore the limits of his ability. Kaname reawakens, creating a machine gun strong enough to penetrate his armor by sacrificing the gun's durability to win the fight. Rin, reuniting with Kaname, informs him and Hiragi of the 8th's intention to attack the hotel to steal all the rings. As everyone is utterly exhausted, Rin proposes that they form a temporary clan to fight against the 8th and protect their rings, which Hiragi accepts. As the 8th prepares to invade the hotel, Kaname forms a makeshift clan with Rain, Ichido, and Ryuji Meisaka, the player Kaname gave a ring to before becoming Ichido's puppet in the elevator. While making preparations for the 8th's arrival, Rain notices that the point values of the gems do not align with their appraisal values, leading her to think that there is something much more to this event than what the rules state, and that the objective might be something other than gathering 3 rings. Meanwhile, Shuka sends out a distress message to Kaname as she encounters Sui, whose sigil allows her to control water, in the subway, and Sui floods it, trapping Shuka underwater. Kaname and Ryuji head out to the subway, while back at the hotel, Rain and Ichido notice that all the rings have a QR code that reveals a number when scanned. Kaname and Ryuji reveal their sigils to each other, with Ryuji's having the ability to tell whether a person is lying or not. The two encounter Sui, and at the subway entrance, Kaname goes in to rescue Shuka, while Ryuji turns confrontational towards Sui, knowing through his sigil that she told a lie when she claimed to know nothing about the subway. Sui, a kid with a dual personality with her late twin brother Soda's spirit in control of her body, leads Ryuji into a trap at a convenience store, using the bottled water in the refrigerator to attack. But before she can deliver the finishing blow, Sui regains control of her body from Soda to stop the attack. Meanwhile, Kaname rescues Shuka, and after administering CPR, Shuka gives him his first kiss. Shuka explains her reason for participating in Darwin's game, which is to get revenge against the player who murdered her parents. Night falls as the next set of rings is distributed, with the biggest prize, the diamond ring, spawning at the hotel, giving Rain a chance to get the code from the ring. Ichido reveals that he plays the game because he needs money to support his daughter, Suzune, who has a bad heart. With the 8th invading the hotel, Ichido takes possession of the rings to use as bait, as well as to help the other clan members hide their location, and he sets a trap at the hotel, killing several 8th clan members. Rain uses the diversion to run towards Shibuya Station, as through the numbers and understanding that they are related to hardness, Rain figures out that the numbers refer to the latitude and longitude coordinates of the true treasure in this event. Ichido battles Sig, whose pyrokinesis sigil puts him at a huge disadvantage. Having set a trap at the hotel, Ichido runs away with Sig in pursuit to activate it. However, he is ambushed by Keiichi, who, along with Sig, is Wong's strongest henchman, and the two mortally wound him. Using sigil on himself to keep himself alive a little bit longer, Ichido activates the trap to collapse the hotel, crushing the 8th's present. Meanwhile, Rain arrives at Shibuya Station and learns that while the 8th also figured out that the true treasure was there, they could not find it, despite searching the entire station as they had not seen the code from the diamond ring yet. However, Rain gets captured as a member whose sigil allows him to sniff out her scent and alerts the gang of her presence, while Wong's signal allows him to teleport right in front of her, which her sigil failed to predict. Wong threatens Rain to reveal the code on the diamond ring, and Rain responds by telling a long story to buy some time for the rest of her clan to arrive. Kaname leads Rain to a safe place so that she can figure out the meaning of the code on the diamond ring, while Shuka, Sui, and Ryuji engage in battle against Wong and his gang. While hiding, Rain figures out that the code 185911 refers to November 1859, when Charles Darwin's book The Origin of Species was published. Meanwhile, Ryuji tries to distance himself from Wong, having incorrectly deduced that his attacks are only effective from close range, and Wong uses his sigil to attack Ryuji from behind and amputate his left hand. With Wong about to kill Ryuji, Kaname arrives with a proposal for Wong to let him have the key that he claims will unlock the door to the treasure in exchange for his life, with Ryuji well aware that he is bluffing. Ryuji reveals that his brother was killed by Wong, and he wants revenge. Kaname's bluff succeeds as he distracts Wong by making him believe that there is a chance his key leads to the treasure, so that he can take the treasure hidden in the coin locker without giving him a chance to react. It is then revealed that the key to the code is the number of digits, as Darwin's book had nothing to do with Shibuya Station, and only the south exit coin locker passcodes use 6-digit numbers at the station. The treasure is a call from the game master on a smartphone to grant Kaname one wish that is within their power. Kaname wishes to quit the game, but the request is denied, and he's told that he can only quit by clearing the game or by killing the game master. Instead, Kaname uses his wish for something that deters killing in the game. 2 months have passed since the event that was officially ruled a terrorist attack in Shibuya. With Sui living at Shuka's apartment, Shuka decides to buy a house for the clan to live in. Suzune is visited in the hospital by Hidekai Kanehira, an insurance broker who was also a Darwin's game player, presenting her with an insurance claim for her father's death, while Rain, who is recovering from a broken arm, becomes friends with her. Suzune tells Rain that she knows what happened to her father, but because Suzune is not a player, Rain cannot reveal the truth. Kaname spent the past 2 months training at the Donjo Boxing Club, As Kaede reattaches Ryuji's hand with her sigil, Kaname requests to form an alliance with the Danjo Boxing Club, and Danjo wants him to prove his worth with a match against him with sigil usage allowed. Meanwhile, Kaname's classmate and friend Shinozuka pays a visit to Kaname's apartment while he's away, and he is kidnapped by Keiichi, who survived the hotel collapse. Kaname and Danjo had their match, and despite having full use of their sigils, none of their attacks made Danjo even use their sigils. Danjo corners Kaname, but Kaname responds by using a flash grenade that makes Danjo use his sigil, which hardens his body, thinking that he was going to be attacked by explosives. Having seen that Kaname is a capable leader, his clan forms an alliance with Kaname's newly formed clan, the Sunset Ravens. The duel is then interrupted by Lu Xiulan, the top player in Darwin's game, as she uses her secret technique, Killing Intent, to make Kaname freeze while he feels a potential lethal attack from her in order to kidnap him. Xiulan takes him for a ride in a limo driven by her butler, Ji Ming, and demands Kaname become the heir to her clan of assassins, but he refuses. The Sunset Ravens chase the limo in a Humvee and challenge Xiulan to a clan battle. After initially struggling, the Sunset Ravens manage to stop the limo by freezing the liquid from the bottle of booze with soda sigil to destroy a tire. Xiulan surrenders when Ji-Ming points out that she would have likely been killed by Shuka had the duel continued because of her limited mobility without the limo and ineffectiveness of her techniques against Shuka. With the Sunset Ravens victorious, Xiulan decides to join the clan on the condition that if she has to kill anybody from the clan, Kaname will be first. Meanwhile, the 8th sends Kaname a video of Shiozuka held hostage with his fingers cut off, with Wong demanding that he show up to fight him. Having located the 8th's hideout in a warehouse, Rain meets up with Katori of the Icy Crown clan to ask for information about the current status of the 8th. With the information, the Sunset Ravens and Inukai all arrive at the warehouse. The police are also at the scene, but they are quickly slaughtered due to their lack of sigils. Shuka delivers Shinozuka's smartphone with the app installed, and he joins Darwin's game as requested by Kaname, gaining the power of telekinesis for his sigil. Shinozuka uses his sigil to fight back against the 8ths, but is totally helpless against Wong. As the Sunset Ravens begin their invasion, Inukai challenges Keiichi to a one-on-one match and reveals that Keiichi was a martial arts prodigy who quit the sport after accidentally killing an opponent, and he felt enlightened when Wong convinced him to become a killer. Kaname and Ryuji make their way into the warehouse, demanding Wong to release Shinozuka, only to find him chopped up into pieces. With Kaname about to be shot by Shinji of the 8ths, Kaname kills him instead, having decided that killing is necessary in this situation. Having decided to kill the 8ths because of their murderous actions both inside and outside the game, Kaname challenges the 8ths to a clan battle against the Sunset Ravens. While Kaname and Ryuji dispatch the remaining 18, Shuka engages in a one-on-one duel with Wong. As Wong uses his sigil to manipulate space to attack, Shuka activates her wire trap, using her sigil to sever his limbs. In a desperate attempt to escape, Wong teleports outside the warehouse, but ends up in front of Kaname. Wong surrenders the battle, unaware that Kaname used his high roller privilege from the Game Master to force the challenged clan to wager the same amount as the Sunset Ravens. With the 8th point out of points, Wong and Keiichi disappear. Kaname, feeling insulted by his final words for being called a poisonous insect, furiously shoots Wong as he disappears. Elsewhere, Oboro, having completed an assassination job, is contacted by the Game Master regarding Kaname's ascension. Sometime later, the Sunset Ravens easily capture Shibuya, leaving enough survivors to spread the message of fear that the game is prohibited in the Sunset Ravens territory. In the epilogue, an angry Kaname begins the next event, a hunting game in the forest. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you at the next one.